Welcome to Saturday's competition here, 2018 National Collegiate Paintball Association Championships. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Kevin Catfish Arcia, and looking forward to this matchup here. Catfish, Miami, Ohio, going to be taking on the Akron Zips. What are you thinking about this matchup? Miami looks really good at this tournament.
Yeah, Miami went 3-0 yesterday, and they played some pretty good teams yesterday. And I don't know, Akron's having a bit of a struggle in this tournament right now. I mean, it's heavily favored Miami of Ohio, of course.
I don't think there's any way that you could call it anything other than that. Yeah. Miami is definitely the huge favorite in this specific matchup. Is Akron not able to win a game so far through 3? They're going to have a chance here. But hey, you never know. Underdogs do win occasionally, and if they could take this one, then they will be moving on to take on one of the favorites in this tournament, FAU. But before we get into this first point, let's check down with our sideline reporter, Lauren Kelly.
Hey guys, this should be a pretty good match. I was talking to Akron before this point, and they're both Ohio teams. Yesterday, Akron was on the D side, actually doing D side coaching for the Miami Redhawks. So they're good friends, they know each other, and they play each other often. Back to them.
So into this first point here, looks like Miami is the first to lose a body and also the first to attack this snake side. Into snake 1, back center is hot as well. They have a body in D2, so a pretty good breakout here, Catfish, for Miami.
Yeah, Miami looking real strong, taking both aggressive sides of the field. It looks like Akron is still yet to get into any of those aggressive positions.
They do have a body at the mini wall here on the snake side, but with D2 and snake 1, even though they're down a body, Miami is in position to start getting those angles. It looks like there's a referee checking out the back player on the D side of the field.
Yeah, it looks like that Miami player in the back center is helping the snake player and keeping that wall, that mini wall at bay, like you were saying, Matt.
You can see there, we were talking about Miami, Ohio, undefeated as they took down Clemson, Purdue, and Drexel. Now, Akron getting into the snake. And there is Akron as they lost to UCF, Liberty, and FAU. Looking at the battle in the snake, they're on your screen, both teams with a body in snake 1. And here comes the move, though, finally, as Akron is attacking that D side, getting into the red zone, into D3 there at the top of your screen. And you can see here a better angle of it, as looks like Miami trying to hold down the attackers, now starting to push forward for Akron. There's the snake battle.
I think we have 2 Akron players coming off of the field. Miami loses their snake player, leaving only the lonely Akron player in the snake.
Well, Akron does have a back player right behind him, trying to protect him. So now he's going to be able to move down. He gets into snake 2.
We got, how many Miami players do we have? Ohio?
You can see there on your screen the Miami, Ohio players into D2 and the 2 back bunkers in the center in the blue zone. Van Camp is now in the red zone here for Akron.
And the stand-up tower behind the rear is trying to make himself a lot smaller now that the Akron players moved himself up to the snake 50 here.
Well, I like what I'm seeing out of Akron so far. They're pushing on the D side. They're getting into here in the 50-yard line on the snake side as well. They got a back player out wide, too. I'm looking pretty solid in this first point here. See if they can close, though. Miami with the 3 players there on your screen trying to hold out. And there goes another body coming off from the back center. And I think the back side on the D side. I thought he might have got clipped, but no, he's good to go. Oh. Van Camp comes across, and then here comes a huge desperation fill from Miami all the way to the back bunker. He dives in head first, and somehow, some way, able to make it in clean. Yeah. Well, let's hold on a second. Let's get the ref in there to check him out first. And it looks like he is going to draw a penalty as well. There is nobody to pull. Akron is going to grab that flag and hang it up here to get the first point. So the underdogs, not too shabby here in this first point. Not too shabby at all.
What I liked that I saw from them is they got to their initial spots, won a couple key gun battles, and then started making small, methodical bumps down the field.
Which is what we saw. I mean, that's just textbook paintball right there. But on this layout, you have to worry about the D side. The D side is very strong, but you can't forget about the snake. So they, pretty quickly, Akron got a body into snake 1, and then also, like you said, quick, smart bumps up the field, those secondaries and those third moves, and able to get into the red zone, and they didn't lose their back players. That's the key. Yeah. The key is a lot of teams, most teams out here have been able to utilize their first attackers and get them to these important front bunkers, but lots of teams yesterday were losing those back players. So it was good to see Akron come out here, play solid through this first point, and get that momentum early. 6 minutes and 42 seconds to go. See if Akron can keep it up, or is Miami going to answer?
Well, Akron had a tough draw yesterday, man. I mean, what do you say? They played the Knights. They played the Owls. They also played Drexel. Was it Drexel that they played? No. They played the Knights, Liberty, and the Owls yesterday.
Akron?
Akron. And that's a tough draw. I mean, those are all top teams right there. You know, not taking away anything from Akron, but, I mean, those are guys that are contenders right there.
Yeah, you're talking about FAU. They were in the finals last year and lost to UCF, defending champs, and Liberty, the #1 seed. So it doesn't get any harder than that.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, so a really tough day again for Akron yesterday as they played essentially the 3 favorites in this tournament, and now playing against Miami, a team they're familiar with. But like going back to that first point, they got to keep it up. That's the question. You know, can they continue to do that against the favored Miami squad? I don't know. Miami now has to answer. Look, they just looked a little sleepy this morning.
Maybe a little too
unsure
early,
of the angles. I don't know if they got their Starbucks this morning.
Here's a big bite right here. We're talking about taking those big bites. Maybe should have stopped at that, tall stand-up there.
Well, at that point in time, maybe he should have stopped at the stand-up. Probably would have had a bigger chance to live, but that was a desperation. Or maybe he just wanted to go and run dive head first in the back corner bunker.
Look cool doing it.
Now
Miami, Ohio is going to start with a player in the box and making their way into Snake. Still aggressive move by Miami, Ohio. Snake player seems to be clean. No, the ref is calling him out now.
So Linder getting shot out for the Red Hawks, trying to get into Snake 1. They do have a back player behind him, back center as well, and the back stand-up on the D side. But that's 2 points in a row that the Red Hawks have lost a body off the break. So the Zips off the break shots are dialed in, make that 2 kills to 3 players.
Yeah, 2 on 5 right now.
And Miami did start down a body. There's a body in the penalty box. So they started with 4, only 2 alive players on the field for Miami. Should get that guy out of the box pretty soon. I believe it was a minor penalty.
He's ready to come out. Here he comes to the little temple.
Well, he comes out just as he loses his teammate, though.
We got the Akron player in the Snake is being joysticked by his coach, and looks like Miami Ohio is going to concede that point.
2 solid points for the Zips.
Oof, looking good. But they played each other like you said earlier, Matt. They know each other's tendencies, so maybe Akron is coming out a little bit harder.
Well, the Zips are doing a great job, 2 points in a row now, of isolating the body on the Snake side and shooting that player out off the break.
Yeah.
It looks like Linder, I couldn't tell if he got shot off the break, then dove in, and then he got the check, or if he caught one in the transition getting into the Snake. Regardless, the result was the same. He dies, and then they immediately lose another one. So survivability is an issue. Miami needs to find something here to wake up. We'll see if they can do that. We'll be right back after this.